Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and this is another pickups video. As a matter of fact, I kind of thought to myself, I'm going to have my pickups videos kind of be maybe a little bit closer to one another, just so I don't have like a really big stack of games to show off and run my mouth off a whole lot. So I kind of want to make it down into separate videos of the pickups, of the games that I pick up as time wears on. And actually got some really good deals. Got some good deals online. Got some good deals at a shop that's like 45 minutes away. And the usual, oh, this is a new game and it's something I really want to play, so I got to pick it up at full price kind of deal. So it's a whole big mixture of all of that. So anyways, without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll start with the first game here. Actually, it's a series on PlayStation 2, and you can kind of see some of them right here off on the side right there. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take all three of these, and that is the DotHack series. Now, as you can see, if I could hold them up right here against my titties, there is actually 4 in this series. I only have 3 because fuck scalpers. The 4th one is way too damn high. There's no chance in hell I'm going to be buying it on eBay. Something's just going to have to happen where hopefully Sony is going to end up, I'm hoping maybe they'll release the DotHack series on PlayStation 4. So hopefully the prices can fall on the physical versions, or people can just be smart enough to just go ahead and buy it, probably anywhere between, say, $5 to $15, getting it digitally on PlayStation 4. Because to be quite honest, I mean, yeah, I'd like to have the physical version, especially with the anime DVDs that are in each one of them, which, by the way, I think that they should also add in the anime with the game. I mean, it makes sense, because it came with the package. Just go ahead and have a selection there of the anime, like the 45-minute anime or whatever, that you can watch either before or after you play the game, kind of thing. You'll have screenshots, you'll have streaming, you'll have trophies, you'll have remastered visuals and all of that crap. So I really do think that that's something. There's a lot of these games that scalpers are just trying to rip people off on, that Sony, I think, just really needs to jump on and go ahead and put on the PlayStation Network, and that way they can make some profit off of it, but at the exact same time they can end up having where it's a fair price. And because the prices that I've been seeing for this series, especially for the GU series, I don't know how many is in that series. I think it might be 3. I'm not sure. Those prices are stupid ridiculous. I mean, they're freaking like retarded. It's stupid. I can't even believe that some people put the prices on these things like they do. But fuck them, because there's no chance in hell, that I'm ever going to end up paying and a ridiculously stupid price that they end up putting on these games. A freaking game, for crying out loud. I mean, for God's sakes, I ended up seeing some prices today for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on GameCube, like $150, $200. Fuck that, and fuck the people going and selling them at that price. That's a ripoff. That's a scalper. Don't do business with people like that. Don't give them any of your money. You're better off either not having it or trying to find it elsewhere, like at a garage or a yard sale or something like that. Don't ever do business with people like that, because they're assholes. Anyways, back to what I was saying about this. It's kind of funny with the DotHack series. I actually had the first one when it first came out. Played it quite a bit. I don't think I ever beat it. I don't recall. I think I might have gotten the second one. I think I did, but I don't ever think that I've ever got the third one before. And it's weird because the prices for these, like the first one is the cheapest, and as you go farther along, the price goes up steadily. And like the first one I think was like 18. And yeah, even though I ended up paying a pretty price for the second, was not really pretty, at least as far as I'm concerned, for the second and third one. I mean, I can understand paying probably about 18 for the first one, but the second one was probably about like, I think it was 25 or 27, something like that, and the third one was like 34, something like that. But from what I've been hearing about the fourth one, it was like $100 anywhere between like $100 to $120. I'm like, that's freaking stupid. So, anyways, I don't know when or if I'll ever get the fourth one, but once I really get into this series and then get in, because I want to watch some more of the anime series as well. But once I start to get into these, I mean, I'm just gonna have my save for the final third game, and then just go from there, you know. And if something happens where because you can actually take your save progress and go from game to game, and if something happens, if something might happen where I just can't progress onward in the PS2 version, and if there might be some random chance that Sony might end up going and putting this series on PlayStation Network, then I'll just continue wherever I can continue off at on the fourth game, because there's no way for me to be able to transfer the save from the PS2 to the PS4, you know, if they put it on the network and whatnot. But if by some random chance of luck, just like I did finding the NES Classic, that I may end up finding the fourth game somewhere at a reasonable price, then I'll pick it up. But the prices for these things right now, especially for the GU series, is ridiculously stupid. Um, but definitely looking forward to getting back into that series again and reliving some of the things that I did previously in the first game. The next one that we have here is the legendary Starfool, or as he makes these little sounds in the game, like, I don't know, it's annoying as shit. Anyways, I've kind of been a fan of Kirby for a while. Like, as far back as I can remember Kirby being around, I've always been interested in his games. I've had like a few of them in the past, but I never really got into them. But I ended up finding this at a really good price at $9. So I figured to myself, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and jump on it and give it a shot, because it has a Kirby-like aesthetics to it. So went ahead and got onto it, and yeah, it really has that feel to it as well. And it's kind of cool how it uses both of the screens as well. I mean, knowing that it came out on the original DS, and I've always been looking to get this for a while now. I think it only had originally came out in Japan, and I think there was another one that came out as well, but the fact is it just didn't show up here in the States for some odd reason. I'm not necessarily sure why that is. Maybe it just wasn't as popular, obviously, since it didn't show up here. But yeah, I just started playing this. Haven't really gotten too far into it, and actually that's kind of been the case with a few of these other ones here. I haven't really had a chance to sit down and actually play them for myself, but I have seen a lot of footage of them and seen gameplay of them and reviews of them and things like that, and they've really seemed like some things that I've really wanted to get into. The next one that I got on docket here is Sniper Elite 4. Now, I really enjoyed this game. I think I'm actually in the final area, as a matter of fact. I was never really into the Sniper Elite series. Like, the first one that came out was on PC. The second one that came out finally came out on console and PC, and so on and so forth. The third and fourth one are on PC also. Now they finally have been coming out on consoles. The first one is very basic, it seems like. The second one I do want to get on maybe PC or PS3 later down the road when I can find when it's really cheap. I got the third one to prepare me for the fourth one. The fourth one, honestly, I believe is the best one out of the entire series. The open maps, the graphics are better. The X-ray kill moves are more in depth, especially the melee kill moves. They actually have X-rays to them now, are really awesome. The different objectives and things that you go on. The story is kind of bare bones, but I guess it really just gives you reason to go out there and just start shooting Nazis, you know, and all over their bodies and blowing up their organs and their brains and their skulls and their everything else. But yeah, it's definitely worth a purchase, definitely worth a buy. I have actually been addicted to this for quite a while now, and I think I am actually on the final area, as a matter of fact. So this is one that I have actually been playing quite a bit. And the next one on the list here, I might as well go ahead and pull this one out. That's what she said. And that's Sniper Elite 3. Just like I mentioned before, I was actually playing this to kind of prepare me for the fourth one, and I really do like this one. I haven't gotten too far into it, but from what I played, I really am enjoying it. And it's probably pretty much the same as it would be in Sniper Elite 4, except the maps aren't quite as big. You know, I wouldn't think. But anyways, yeah, definitely a good series to get into, and it's just kind of been a gradual progression for this series. Excuse me, series, where there's been positives and there's been negatives and things of that nature, pros and cons and whatnot. But to me, it kind of seems like it's just been getting better with each iteration, at least from the footage that I've seen and the reviews that I've seen and things like that. The next one here on the list is actually Shantae and the Half Genie Hero, and this is one of those 2D side-scrolling, really colorful beat 'em up action side-scrolling kind of games. Really cute, really awesome. Music is okay. I really do like the animation in it as well. It is. It actually ended up coming with the soundtrack, as a matter of fact, which I don't really like too much of the soundtrack. I mean, to be quite honest, the soundtrack is it's okay. Some of the tracks in it sound alright, but the rest of them just kind of sound like they're repetitive, dubstep-ish, and I can't. I'm sorry, I can't stand dubstep to save my life. I just can't. That's just me. That's my own personal preference. I can't freaking stand that crap. Uh, Lord, I apologize. But anyways, yeah, I mean, some of the tracks in it are okay. It's all right. But overall, the game itself is the main thing that really stands out. And I was actually kind of surprised that it ended up coming in a box form because I thought I was only going to end up getting the game itself, and it ended up coming with the actual soundtrack as well. So really cool bonus for sure. Been playing that quite a bit. I'm probably going to end up getting back into it at some point because I just kind of been jumping around with a bunch of different things. The next one that I have here is Star Fox Assault, and I have seen a lot on this. I honestly haven't even played this just yet, but I've seen a lot on it. All the gameplay footage and things that I've seen and some of the reviews that I've seen have really given it some real positive thoughts and real just positive in general. And even seeing the action, especially on the back of the box, and even seeing it in action on, say, YouTube or other video sites and what have you, like say with IGN or Games Spot. It's it looks really awesome, and it's definitely something that I'm gonna sit down and give it a shot because it does look pretty sweet for sure. The next one that I got here is Crash Nitro Kart. Now, with the whole big hubbub that's going on with the Insane Trilogy that's coming out of the first 3 Crash games coming to PlayStation 4 this year, I was just, you know what? I was like, I really want to get back into some Crash games again. Granted, I haven't been playing any of the older ones because since they're coming out remastered or remade or what have you, I guess you could just say remade, really. I mean, honestly, when you look at the graphical shift from PS1 to PS4, it's big. It's real big, But the thing is, though, is I have been playing a little bit of Twin Sanity on PS2. I played just a little bit of that, hadn't gotten too much into it, but then I ended up seeing this and it was at a really good price. And I'm like, you know what? I've really been wanting to try some of the Crash Bandicoot kart racers, and when I ended up finding out about this, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab it and pick it up. Really good price. So I was like, you know what? Might as well go ahead and give it a shot for sure. And maybe just a little something, weird and quirky to just hold me over until the Insane Trilogy comes out when it comes to dealing with the with kart racers and just Crash Bandicoot in general. Although I thought this was only on the GameCube, but apparently I think it also came out on the PS2 as well, which, by the way, the music CD did not come in this. It didn't. It was just the game itself, so, oh well, whatever. Next one I got here is Scalar. This seems like one of those usual action platformer kind of deals, maybe along the lines of, say, Spyro or Gex or Crash Bandicoot, something like that. Heard some positive things about it. Went ahead and decided I would only got it for like a few dollars. So I said, you know what? It looks like it's pretty sweet. So the reviews have been giving it some positive thoughts and whatnot. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Sorry, some of these I can't really give too much info on because of the fact that I haven't really sat down to play many of them because I've just been accumulating quite a bit for a while now and finding all these humdrum of a deal prices and just diving right into them. The next one I have here is a game that I've never heard of. As much of PlayStation that I play, I have never heard of this title at all, and I know you can hardly see it because of the fact that the daggum sticker right there of how much it was gone. It's called Battle Hunter, and apparently from what I read, it's some type of company that would put out these really I'm not saying cheap in a bad way, but cheap in a way like, okay, we're being consumer friendly here and we're going to put out games that are fun and interesting, but at the same time we're not going to charge them $40, which is how PS1 games were back in the day. They were $40. So I don't know how much this was back in the day, but it's kind of funny because they ended up putting it in a regular CD case and it said parental advisory, explicit content down there on the bottom, when in actuality the whole thing is, the game is rated E for everyone, but yet it was put in a CD case and it's got the parental advisory, which I tried to pull that off, but it wasn't really coming off too well. And from what it is, it's some type of little like tile-based dungeon crawler thing where you go off and you face against either friends or other opponents, and you get treasures and something along those lines. At least from what I've been hearing and seeing, I only got it for like I think $9 or something like that. So I went ahead and said, you know what, it's something that I've never heard of, something I've never seen. From what I've seen on the back, it looked like it'd be interesting. So I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and jump right on it. And after seeing some of the reviews and things like that for the price that I got it at, and different things that were said about it, doesn't seem like I'll regret it, especially after seeing some of the footage in action too. The next one I got here is called Made Man, and it's on PlayStation 2, and it's also, I believe it's on, I don't know if it's on PC or if it's on other platforms. I really don't know. But anyways, it has to deal with the Mafia, and this guy that you play as, and I guess basically it's like it's telling his story from beginning to end, like he's narrating it as you're going along from one point to another. It's from this, it says it's from the mind of the acclaimed crime author David Fisher and the mouth of the notorious Mafia insider. Whatever that might mean. But I just started this out, and I'm just in the first area, and it's from what it is right now, it's kind of like your basic third-person shooter kind of fare, but it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty cool, and from what I've seen so far, like the voice acting and things like that, and the storytelling seems pretty cool. I have to get a little bit farther into it, but I got this for like $2, you know. So I was like, you know what? If it's like a third-person shooter and it deals with the Mafia and whatnot and things like that, and you know, underworld crime drama, whatever, I was like, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and give it a shot. The next one that I got here is is a game that some people love and some people hate, but you know, it gets mixed reviews all across the board, and that is The Bouncer. This was, this was basically one of the first games that ever came out for the PS2. I think it was a launch title for the PS2. I could be completely wrong on that. Sorry for the little rip right there. There was a sticker that was on there, and I tried to pull it off, and I got pissed off and just ended up ripping the plastic on there because I'm a brute. But anyways, from what little I played, it kind of has a little bit of a Tekken feel to it, like with the fighting. But the fighting feels a little bit slower in this. I need to get back into it a little bit more. I've only played a little bit of it. But for the price that I got it for, from what I've been experiencing so far, it seems like it's pretty sweet. From what I've heard, the story was actually pretty good. And the action in it was pretty good, especially as you level up and go along and end up earning new moves for yourself and leveling up your the characters as you go along. Because from what I've known so far, you're only playing as like 3 guys. And I swear, dude, this guy, I think his name is Sion, or Sion, something, whatever. But I swear, man, this comes from Squaresoft, with Square Enix now. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was like the father of Sora from Kingdom Hearts. They both kind of look the same in the game. Not to mention their first names both start with the letter S. So I was just looking at it, I was like, yeah, he kind of reminds me of Sora, like a more adult Sora. A more adult version of Sora, not a little kitty version, little kitty Disney version. You know, so I just thought that was kind of funny when I saw him like that. I was like, he looks kind of familiar. And the last one that I have here is Maximo Goes to Glory. Now, I know this has to deal with the Ghosts and Goblins series, and I have the other one, the Army of Sin, which is actually pretty awesome. I'm actually liking it better than I like this one because I can actually control the freaking camera in Army of Sin. I believe I could. Yeah, I could. You can't control the camera in this. Why the hell can't you control the camera in this? It doesn't make any sense. So I kind of had to position myself to the point where I wouldn't be all, you know, can't see what the hell I'm doing, because that's exactly what was happening. So I was trying to control myself and trying to play and all this other stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. You know, I like Army of Zen much better because the control is better, I think. But the thing is that this is actually one of those discs that is a blue disc, and it's crazy with the blue discs. Pardon me. It's crazy with the blue discs. It's like the older versions of the PS2 will run blue discs, but some of the newer versions of the PS2 wouldn't run the blue discs, Or if they do, then they can only run them for a certain period of time, and then they'll just like screw up or something. One example what I mean is when I started this game up, I let it go to the title screen. It was on the title screen. I was doing something else at the time. It went to where I guess it was going to advertise itself or whatever, show gameplay footage, and it said now loading. Well, it loaded and 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 loaded, and nothing came up. And I'm like, what the hell is up with this? So I was like, okay, well maybe the game crashed or something. So I restarted the game, and as soon as I got to the title screen, I went ahead and pressed start. I said, hell with this, I'm going to go ahead and start it. As soon as I started it, it was playing fine. Everything was okay. So I don't know what was up with that. The PS2 that I was using was a little slimline one, the little skinny thin ones. And I thought to myself, that's really strange how it could just start up and be fine like that. But if it's going into a loading sequence past the title screen without pressing start, it just kind of stays on the loading screen constantly, like it crashes. The blue discs were strange. They were weird, and I guess that was one reason why Sony got rid of them. They just went ahead to like the standard DVD format or whatever, but I swear, dude, I don't know how many games came out with the blue disc. I believe I have a couple other ones that are blue discs, and they seem to work fine, but I didn't even know that this one was a blue one. I thought it was just like a regular DVD one. But yeah, it was kind of strange, but anyways, technology is weird. What can you say? But anyways, that was my little pickups video for this point in time, and so anyways, don't know what else to say besides the fact of I'll just see you guys in the next video whenever that happens, and yeah, we'll just go from there, and so on and so forth, and yada yada yakety schmackety. So anyways, later taters.